I think you should start over. That was so bad.
Was it that bad?
Just like, don't say goo. Just be like, I don't even know.
Is that bad?
I didn't like it. That was bad.
We're keeping it.
You
Anyway.
said.
For all who comes to this goofy place, welcome.
Hello, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode here on the Goofy Scoop podcast. Of course, I have Gray with me today, and we unfortunately don't have a guest, but we have plenty to talk about. The topic I actually want to talk about today involves Gray pretty heavily. He's the mastermind behind this. So we do have notes that we've created back in season 1, and it's carried over into season 2 just to kind of get an idea of what we want to talk about. Well, I think today we need to talk about something that Gray added to the Google Drive without me really knowing, and I just stumbled across it when I went to go put some notes in there myself one day. So let's go ahead and make it an episode. Let's see what Gray thinks on things at Disney World that just make sense.
That's right. So, things at Disney World that just make sense.
Gray, do you even remember writing half of these down?
I have no idea.
I wrote season 1.
I wrote them months ago, and I haven't looked at them, so I don't know what they say. So I'm really excited, and I hope I'm hilarious.
I was gonna say, I pulled these up, and I was just like, he did write a bunch of this stuff, but I never really noticed it because I was just focused on the pages above it. And I was like scrolling down, getting ready for season 2, and I was like, oh God. I was like, these are pretty funny.
I'm probably hilarious.
So we're just going to go ahead and talk about that today. Hope you guys think it's funny as well. Let's go ahead and get started, because the first one says, okay, so let me go ahead and title it again real quick, just to make this nice and official. Things at Disney World that just make sense. Random theology museum in the middle of Norway at Epcot.
Sometimes you just have to learn, you're just like, oh, let's drink around the world and let's learn about theology while we're here.
I was going to say, yeah, that's with like that small little hut looking thing, like right in the front of the Norway Pavilion, just in case anybody didn't know where that was located, which it is kind of funny how they do have that. Cause it's like, yeah, theology is kind of cool. But
where else would you go? And you're like, yeah, we're going to get drunk. And then you're like, oh, look, let's read about the moon and the stars and how they align to perfectly create Thor and whoever else is in
Thor
there.
And Loki and all of them.
But at Disney World, it just makes sense.
Yeah. Things at Disney World that just make sense. All right, moving on to the second one. A giant teapot in England at Christmas time. But that does make sense, though. There's no joking behind that. That does make sense.
No. That pretty much makes sense. I mean, my family decorates with like the same style of teapot. Like the teapot that's in England in Christmas is like the same style of china that my family uses at Christmas time. But I just think it's funny because like who else is just like a giant teapot sitting in their front yard? But at Disney World, you're like,
it just makes
this
sense.
is a cool thing. This is photography. Beautiful. I love it.
I was going to say, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but some of these are going to be very serious and truly do make sense.
It's true.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just kind of scrolling real quick. And I think so. So not all of them are going to be funny, but the ones that are going to be funny, the ones that I remember looking at, I was just like, oh God.
They all make sense at Disney World. That's all I'm saying.
Funny or not, they all make sense. Okay. So the third one, the hang gliding ride in a pavilion that you're supposed to be on the land.
What?
Living with the land, and you're up there.
You're soaring around the world and you're going over the land, over the sea, but you're in a pavilion called the land.
Which I never actually really put that together. And usually my brain does kind of tick that way.
Things at Disney World that just make sense.
Just makes sense. All right. And the next one, a rocket ship that takes you to space, but the only part you go towards space in, the 10 seconds at the beginning on the uphill.
Oh.
What
was I talking about?
Right. Yeah. What?
Oh, Space Mountain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to take you to space, but you go on the uphill towards space, and then like you get like, I don't know, 20 feet in the air, and then it just like you go down the whole time. The rest of it's just down.
At first, I thought you were talking about Mission Space, and I was like, dude, you definitely go to Mars.
No. I was also thinking, I was like, maybe Spaceship Earth, but like in the end, you're in space and you go backwards, like down from space. But no, Space Mountain you go towards space at the very beginning, but then the rest of it you don't actually.
And you're just rocketing in space at a
You're not even
whopping
in space. You're just going
27 miles an hour.
Yeah. These are funnier when I wrote them.
I think they're pretty good so far. They'll probably just get better.
I'm sure they'll get better.
Okay. I think this one's actually a pretty good one. So the next one we have Gray's Mastermind comment on things that just make sense at Disney World. Having fun in a broken elevator. You would die.
That sounds awful. What? You go to a hotel. Hey, the elevator is broken. Oh, I have an idea. Let's get inside of it. Absolutely not.
It just makes sense. You're at Disney World, Gray.
At Disney World, just makes sense. Of course, I don't like that ride, so I'm not about to do it. But
it makes sense, Gray. You got to do it.
I don't like that ride.
Okay, so this next one's definitely totally makes sense. Things at Disney World that just make sense. Going broke at the happiest place on earth.
Yep. You spend so much money. Those t-shirts that are like, I asked for it, and then the husband's like, I paid for it or something, whatever it is.
True.
Yeah, you're like, oh, the happiest place on earth, the most magical place on earth, and like you lose all of your money. $0 left in your bank account.
Yeah, to be fair though, I was super broke on my Disney college program, and that's the happiest I've ever been. So maybe going broke at the happiest place on earth.
Money is not happiness. They're not equated to each other. But
have you ever seen that video of I think it's Tosh Pono, but Daniel Tosh, the comedian. Have you ever seen him?
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
Where he's like, yeah, money might not buy you happiness, but have you ever like not smiled on a jet ski?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So Gray, you'll have a little bit of experience behind this one because you used to sell them. So things at Disney World that just make sense. Spending $9 for a slice of pizza.
Ridiculous.
But there's also a lot of places though. Like I feel like if you just go to, let's say AT&T Stadium, that's like one of the biggest stadiums located 2 hours away from me, dude. Yeah, $9 for a slice of pizza is like,
yeah, but average. Slice, and not even like a big slice, just like a regular slice of pizza.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of true. I guess it is just a slice. It's not really like
that's how much it costs at Disneyland. Disneyland, regular slice of pizza, $9. That's insane.
Get ready to spend some money, people. Just like the comment above, going broke at the happiest place on earth. Okay, so for the next one, a dead tree named the Tree of Life. Okay, that's actually a pretty funny one.
Yeah, because it's literally not real. It's a fake tree made of wood and steel and plastic.
Things that just make sense.
The Tree of Life at Disney World, people, is nothing living about it. It's all nothing. It's just
the funny thing is too is I'm in a goofy mood. I know you're probably in a goofy mood too because you're probably coming down from your day. You're about to have to go to bed to get ready for work in the morning.
It's true.
We're sitting here laughing. Everybody's like, guys, this isn't
funny at all.
Well, it is to me. Okay. So the next one, giving hugs to literal mice. Yeah. I'm not going to do that outside of Disney World walls.
Absolutely not.
What?
Have you seen the rats in New York City? They're huge. You could probably hug those things. Are you going to do it? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. But it just makes sense.
Just makes sense at Disney.
I'm trying to read ahead just to kind of get an idea. And it looks like the next one is being murdered by falling into a briar patch, but still having a zippity-doo-dah day.
Splash Mountain. They literally, okay, this took me a long time to get. And I think I've asked this question on the podcast before. When you're in Splash Mountain, you're like going up the hill and the vultures are like dressed like they're at your funeral. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. But then I like figured out that going down the hill in Splash Mountain, you're like going into the briar patch. It's like you're going to get stabbed and die. So you literally are murdered. But then at the very end, you're like, like
he somehow survived.
A wonderful day, but you just died.
That's one of the greatest endings to a ride though on Disney property.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the next one. Things at Disney World that just make sense. Giving backstage passes to a group of 100+ people. And not just once. This is throughout the day.
Like constantly, like over and over and over and over. You want backstage passes? That's a great idea.
Yeah, wait a minute. That's a great idea. For people that don't know what we're talking about, that is Rock and Roller Coaster in Hollywood Studios. If you have not rode that, and if you're a fan of roller coasters, definitely go ride that roller coaster.
Everyone that's going to that concert is getting backstage passes. That is just not real. Sorry. And I know Disney, it's a fantasy world and blah, blah, blah. No, this only makes sense at Disney World and nowhere else. That's why this is fun.
I'd like to think that super stretch limos exist, though, outside of Disney World. I'd like to be in a super stretch limo.
Yeah, but an actual limo that long would not be able to turn corners. It would only be able to go straight.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be like a highway machine.
You would be like London Tipton. I have a limo so long, it only goes straight. If I want to turn, I have to switch limos.
She says that for real?
Yeah, she says that. I don't remember what episode, but
I just remember the Prindle stick thing.
Definitely a quote.
That's the one thing that stuck with me is the Prindle stick.
There's way more to Sweet Love is Zack and Cody than the Prindle. Like the Prindle's good, but there's way more.
Oh yeah, 100%. I used to love that show as a kid.
So
Still love that show. Just don't watch it anymore. But
I watch it every day. No, I don't. Just kidding. What's next?
Okay, so things at Disney World that just make sense. Allowing a 5-year-old to pilot the Millennium Falcon, because Han Solo not one bit. Han Solo is not about it. But it
Does
just makes
Chewie
sense
even ever pilot? We don't even know. I've never. I don't know Star Wars.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Chewie can fly it, Han Solo can fly it, but at Disney World, 5-year-olds can fly it. And they always do a terrible job because I'm always in the back, like pressing the dang engineer button because I got to fix all the things that they've broken. And it never works.
If you want to fly the Millennium Falcon as a 5-year-old kid, all you have to do is just get your parent to buy you a ticket. It's not for free. Nothing's free at Disney except for water. Water's free.
Well, kind of, but like you paid to get into the park, so like you paid for that water.
Oh my God, that's a point. The water's not even free.
Nothing is free.
Nothing is free. All right, so the next one. Things at Disney World that just make sense. Boarding a boat that the skipper doesn't even know how to drive. Because the skipper doesn't drive it.
And you're literally going on a 2-week safari with this person, and you're like, the skipper, as soon as you get in the boat, is like, wave goodbye to all my fans because I have no idea how to drive this thing. I'm gonna be your swimming instructor. And you're like, you just like got on the boat and you're like, okay, and you have nothing with you, like no luggage, nothing. You're just like, that's so fun. And like,
dude, Jungle Cruise is solid though. Hey, and
I love that ride, but it just makes sense at Disney, but nowhere else.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the whole point of this. It makes sense.
Okay, so a little bit off topic for a quick second. Have you seen the movie Jungle Cruise? Fantastic movie.
Absolutely, I have. Yes.
I think The Rock's in a little bit of too many movies here lately.
Nah, I like it.
But it's
a
great movie.
I don't like the amount of snakes in that movie. I don't like snakes. There's a lot of snakes in that movie.
Yeah, there is a lot of snakes. But it's a really good movie. Like I was a little concerned because you have the Pirates of the Caribbean series, and they're about to make a 6th one. I don't know how I feel about that.
With Johnny Depp? Without Johnny Depp. We don't know.
Without Johnny Depp. I don't think Johnny Depp's gonna do anything with Disney.
That movie's gonna flop. Sorry.
Yeah. But I was a little leery on that because I was like, man, the Pirates is so good, and they went full circle. They went ride movies, ride. But when it comes to Jungle Cruise, I was super worried about that. I was like, the Jungle Cruise is such a good ride. Hopefully this movie doesn't flop. But I was actually really
there's like the Tower of Terror movie that's like not that great. And like
when I was like 7, when I first saw that on VHS, I was like, this is such a good movie.
And like the Haunted Mansion movie with Eddie Murphy is like meh.
Yeah. Like but they're making a new one though. So I'm excited about that one.
Yeah. But there have been a few ride movies that have flopped.
Yeah. I always just forget about them because they flopped.
Yeah.
But no, I guess to get back on track, but the Jungle Cruise was a great movie. And also, the Jingle Cruise. I'm more so of a fan of the Jungle Cruise, not the Christmas themed Jingle Cruise.
You said that before. I love the Santa hats, but oh well. It's just exciting to me. But I also love Christmas. Love Christmas.
I mean, I do too, but I don't know. Just the Jungle Cruise in general is just great ride.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the list here.
Let's get back. What else makes sense at Disney World?
The next one, flying elephants.
Yeah. Where in the world do elephants fly except for Disney World? But at Disney World, they don't have just one flying elephant. Like it's not like, oh, look, a flying elephant. You don't have just one. You have like 8. But they only fly in a circle. They can't like just fly. They only fly in a circle, and you're like, oh, so boring.
Except for the boring part, it almost felt like you were talking to me as in like I was like a 5-year-old kid about to go to the parks, and you were like making magic, and you're like, not only do they fly in a circle. Like,
not only is Dumbo the coolest elephant ever, and there's only one Dumbo, but there's actually 12,000 Dumbos. They're
like
all named Dumbo.
Hyping it up for something so lame. It's like the parents are like, oh, this guy's got to cut it out.
Though. I mean, it's super classic. You got to love Dumbo, but.
Oh, and the next one even has something to do with Dumbo. So let's go ahead and switch it.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So the next one, things at Disney World that just make sense. Character integrity, and there is only one Mickey Mouse, but riding on 10 Dumbos at the same time.
Exactly. There's only one Mickey Mouse ever. There's like some statues of him around. There's only one Mickey Mouse, but there's 100 Dumbos.
Absolutely. Dude, and I've actually had guests get mad at me before when I'm trying to keep the character integrity, especially with the one and only Mickey Mouse. And it's like, I get it. And it's like, there's even been times where I've even pulled them off to the side too, where it's like, I'm making sure that the kid stays with the other parent, and I'm like, pull the other parent over to the side. But I've had parents get mad at me and been like, I know that like, okay. So basically, for the people that don't know, is we were told that there's only one Mickey. Like, that's why
there is only one Mickey, period.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and we still have that engraved in our brains. But like, guests will get frustrated with you when you're trying to tell them, Mickey's here at this time. Mickey's not there. He's here right now. Because there are times that overlap, but because they have to, you can't sit there and say there's only one Mickey, but you might have a show at 3:00 that involves Mickey, but then Mickey's doing meet and greets in another park all day, like throughout the day.
Mickey is magical. He can do whatever he wants. There's only one Mickey. Okay, get out of my house.
Yeah, but like I've actually had parents and like guests get mad at me and been like, listen here. And I'm just like, no. Let me pull you to the side real quick. I'm keeping character integrity for the kiddos. Like, take it easy on me.
I'm keeping character integrity for the adults.
Yeah, I try to, as long as they go with it. But there's some people that just we're not about it. They're just like, tell me where to go. And I'm just like, okay. I'll break character.
Where is Mickey Mouse? I want to see him now.
we got a code ear. Okay, so anyway, next one. Things at Disney World that just make sense. Meeting and taking photos with the literal monsters that live in your closet, which I'm assuming is the Monsters Inc. meet and greet.
Monsters Inc. meet and greet, of course. Where
is that meet and greet? Remind me.
The very back, at least is where it was the last time I went. No, I take that back. When I was on my program, I didn't meet Mike and Sully the last time I went. All the way back, Hollywood Studios, all the way in the back of that museum, the like Walt Disney Museum thing.
Yes. Okay.
They're like all the way in the back of there, right next to the movie theater.
Okay. I was going to say, because I knew that they were in Hollywood. Because for a quick second, I was like, Epcot? And then I was like, no, that's what's the characters from the big red-haired guy in the video games and
Wreck-It Ralph?
Like that. Wreck-It Ralph. There we go. And then I was like, no, that's Wreck-It Ralph. And then I was like, okay, they're in studios, but I couldn't remember for a second. So thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
But why would the kids want to meet the monsters that live in
I want to meet Mike Wazowski. Like, he's literally a monster that lives in your closet that anywhere else in the world would scare the heck out of you because he lives in your closet.
But at Disney World, it just makes sense.
But at Disney World, you just want to give him a hug and a little snuggle. It just makes sense.
Just really saturate that. In Disney World, it just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
Okay, so the next one that makes sense, Gray, is believing that all animals and characters speak English, which I have thought about this before because, okay, so like the Santa in Hollywood Studios, the coolest Santa ever, because he's like, I don't even know how to.
There's only one Santa Claus, Jeff. I mean, hello.
Yeah, but when he comes and visits in Hollywood Studios is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dude, he knows, I don't even know how many languages. He knows all of the languages, but it's like incredible because I was just watching him one day and I was like, man, we have a lot of international guests. How does he talk with the international guests? Which granted, majority of them are English Spanish or Portuguese language, because a lot of them from Brazil or like South America.
Yeah.
So that's like the main three. But even then, like he was speaking other languages. I had no idea outside of those three. And I was just in amazement. Like I was just 24 years old.
Santa knows it all because he flies around the world like every year, like sees everybody, needs to know how to go. We can read directions in every language. But like, let's say you meet Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Technically, better be able to speak French at least.
Technically, she's French, but I have never heard Belle speak French, except for like Monsieur, like whatever. Like she's
just a little bit like here and there.
Everyone knows what that means.
That's a good point, because what I was gonna say was like other than Santa, I haven't really like heard a character speak anything else but English.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe wrong place, wrong time for me to witness it, but I don't know.
Cinderella, isn't she French also?
Cinderella, I thought she was German.
Maybe she's German. Okay, I really don't know all the princesses.
But like Cinderella and Mulan, Snow White, I believe, are German.
Mulan is Chinese,
and
Tiana is American because she's from the bayous.
From the bayou.
But like all of these princesses, they just know each other. They just
happen to all speak perfect commercial English.
Perfect English. Some of them don't even have accents.
But you know,
you talk to Belle and she talks like she's from Georgia.
But you know what, Gray? It just makes sense.
At Disney World, it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
But you know what also just makes sense at Disney World, Gray?
Tell me.
Sitting in the boat on the happiest cruise ever sailed that you know is going to annoy the crap out of you for the rest of the day because it's a classic.
It's a world of yeah. No, that like the happiest cruise ever sailed. And then you're like, I'm getting on this ride and I know I'm like already tired of this song before I even got on the ride. And like, you're not happy at all, but it's the happiest cruise I've sailed.
You know what? I don't remember who told me this. I went to the park with him one day, but I thought it was like the most brilliant / funniest thing ever. You know what would be a great sponsor for that ride? Because you know how Ziploc sponsored Splash Mountain for a while? If not, they still might, but I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah. Advil. They should have Advil.
Dude, Advil or Tylenol should sponsor It's a Small World. Like,
or honestly, Excedrin migraine. That would be so funny.
That would be funny as well. But when they told me that, it might have been you. I don't know, because you pulled that out of your hat pretty quick. But I was like, that is so good. Like, that is like, of course the kids wouldn't care, but for the adults would like, that's fun.
Unfortunately, they like can't give out free pills. Like, doesn't like, you can give out free Ziploc bags, but you can't really give out free Advil to everybody.
But I mean, even if they sponsor the ride, though, it's not like they can sponsor it just by passing it out, right?
Yeah, that's true. I'm just thinking like Splash Mountain, like they literally pass.
Yeah, they can give you a Ziploc or two. Yeah. But yeah, sitting in the boat, that annoys the crap out of you for the rest of the day. Just makes sense at Disney World, and you're willing to do it. Sense. Because even when I go with my family to this day, every time we go, it's like, anybody want to go? No. All right, we're still.
We're gonna go anywhere. All right.
Yeah, that and Peter Pan. Like Peter Pan, no matter how long the ride is. Now, granted, if it's over like 90 minutes, then my family's like, no, we're not going.
If Peter Pan is over 10 minutes, I'm not going. Are you kidding me? That
ride, if I'm by myself, yeah, for sure. But if I'm with my family, I don't understand
why that ride is such a long line ever. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Now, what's
that's something at Disney World that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense at all. But good thing that's not on the list.
Yeah.
At least from what I see on the page, I'd have to scroll a little bit.
I don't think it's on there.
But the new queue for Peter Pan's flight is really nice though, because the last like 4 or 5 times I've walked through there, it was kind of nice and it was new, and it didn't make the wait seem so bad or so long.
Yeah, they have the interactive screen thing, and you can ring the bells and stuff.
Yeah.
There
we go. But yeah, it was like super nice. Like you get to mess around, like Tinkerbell, she's flying around the room. You get to watch her and all that stuff. So it makes you a little bit more patient as an individual.
Yeah, I think it makes it better, but just, it is what it is. What's next on the list?
Still not worth it.
What else makes sense?
Okay, so the next one on the list, actually, by the way, let's just go ahead and say It's a Small World. Get sponsored by Advil. Now let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Things at Disney World that just make sense. The fact that citizens of Hollywood from the 1920s still look that good.
They look so good.
You have a point. I need to know what their skin routine is.
It is 2022. They're literally 100 years old.
Older than that, because majority of the citizens are like probably mid-30s, mid-40s.
They're literally 115 years old.
They are a century and a half old.
Like, they're so old, but they look good.
But it just makes sense at Disney World, though.
Just makes sense. No aging at Disney World. Mickey Mouse, he's like 1 billion years old. He looks fantastic.
Yeah. He's around the same age, 1922. Yeah. So he's just now 100 years old this year.
Mice never age, right? Like real mice. I say real. Mickey Mouse is real. Mice that don't live at Disney World die a lot faster. Like, they don't live normal human lives. But Mickey Mouse, he's killing it.
Mickey Mouse got it. He's fine.
No wrinkles, like, so good.
Oh boy. Okay, so the next one on the list. Spending $75 for a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm. We love to hear it.
Spirit jerseys.
Yeah.
I don't own a Spirit jersey. Do you own a Spirit jersey?
I own like 5.
Do you?
I got some of them. I got some of them on discount. Some of them I paid full price for, but I like them. Okay.
Okay. So just for the people that listen on here and they might be obsessed with Spirit jerseys, what Spirit jerseys do you have? That way they can possibly relate to you, because I don't own one.
I have a white one that has red, yellow, and orange stripes on it. It says Walt Disney World, just like classic.
Are they like titled or anything? Like, do they have like specific theming titles or anything, or no?
No, I don't think so. I have a Buzz Lightyear one. I have the Captain America Falcon one, like the new Captain America. I like that one the most.
I've never seen that one on you.
That's a good one. I have the Ink and Paint Spirit jersey. How many is that for? I have a 50th anniversary Spirit jersey that I wore on my last trip. I might have another one. Oh, I have a Christmas one. That's 6.
Trying to think.
I can only wear them when it's cold outside, because I don't like long sleeves except when it's cold outside. So I'm not going to go to Florida and wear shorts on a Spirit jersey.
Yeah, for those people that wear Spirit jerseys like mid-August, I'm like, you brave soul.
But they are super comfortable shirt. Like, they're very comfortable, but still $75 to $100, depending on which one you're getting, is like ridiculous. But at Disney World, you're going to buy like 12 of them, because spending all your money.
Yeah, going broke at Disney just makes sense.
Just makes sense.
When I was working Keystone one morning, or like I was working Hollywood Boulevard, but I got scheduled and tasked for Keystone Clothers, is where we had all the Mandalorian Spirit jerseys. They came out that morning, and I got to work, and I was like, all right, let's go for a busy day. And they're like, no, we sold out 45 minutes into the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, whoo, these Spirit jerseys sell fast.
I wonder how much they like cost to make. Like, even a good quality shirt, like let's say it cost $20 to make. They are making more than triple what that shirt is worth. Like,
oh, easily, yeah. I mean, it doesn't cost
so good.
near as much as what they're actually making.
Also, the newer Spirit jerseys have gone down in quality. Not sure if you've seen that, but the newer ones have gone down
I haven't noticed that, so I'll have to look when I stop by on my next visit, which is, I guess, in a couple months.
Heyo.
Not from the recording, so I guess it'd be this month by the time we post. But, but yeah. Okay, so the next one, other than spending $75 for a t-shirt, that just makes sense at Disney World.
Yep.
But also what makes sense when it comes to purchasing something at Disney World is paying $8 for anything that would normally cost $3, but it's okay because it's shaped like a Mickey head.
That's right.
What is that specifically?
Mickey pretzels. Let's talk Mickey ice cream bars. Let's talk Mickey ice cream sandwiches. Let's talk I can't think of anything else. Cupcakes, maybe? I don't know. They're like big.
Like anything that they can like put ears on, they're putting ears on them.
Oh, come on, everybody, get your ears on.
Good time.
You have like you are paying for an entire meal when you buy an ice cream sandwich at Disney World. But it looks like Mickey Mouse. You're like, oh my God, I'm living my best life.
And I'm a little upset that you can buy these at Walmart now, by the way. Yeah. They're not just park exclusive.
You can.
A little upset.
They're also, I mean, they're like still expensive at Walmart though. Like you get four for like $12.
Like
it's only $3 a piece. That's
like,
not
I guess
bad.
there's still a lot of things. I guess where I'm going with this whole, like, I'm upset that they're selling this at Walmart is like, I just feel like there should be a lot of things that are like Disney exclusives. Like, I
Yeah,
understand
but
like not everybody can go, but
there's so many other things that are Disney
I
exclusive.
know
Like,
I'm being too picky. I know, but
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah.
And then even where they had like that third party deal with Target, now Disney has that deal with Target. They shut down a lot of Disney stores. And now they just have sections in
No,
Target.
not a lot of Disney stores. All of the Disney stores, not all. There's like 3 left, but
Yeah.
like the closest one to me is 4 hours away. It used to be 20 minutes down the road.
Yep.
4 hours. I'm not driving 4 hours to go to Disney store. Heck
I was
no.
gonna say I don't know if they have one in Dallas anymore because the nearest one to me would be 2 hours away.
Ridiculous.
So,
Absolutely ridiculous.
but yeah, it just makes sense though.
Just makes sense.
That's I don't think that's on the list, but that makes sense.
No, it's not, but that doesn't make no sense.
Okay, so another one having to do with Mickey head.
Let's get it.
Things at Disney World that just make sense. Saying, I like your ears.
Come on, everybody.
Did you say that a whole lot?
Oh,
when you
all
were
the
working
time.
there? Oh, did you really? See, that wasn't like my thing.
Ears. Nice
I
ears.
always felt weird saying it.
Yeah, well, could you imagine walking around like Walmart and being like, "Oh, you got cool ears.
I like your ears, sir. Nice ears.
I like your ears,
ma'am.
Yeah, that's
your
creepy.
ears are looking fantastic right now.
We have a guy on aisle 12 who's trying to check out people's ears.
See, but my issue, I tried it like 2 or 3 times, right? Because like I had to do the pins, and then there's like certain things like I like your ears, like things that you could just say when you're on the clock.
Yeah.
But I always had the issue of every time that I said I like your ears, like the 3 or 4 times that I did it, I would catch myself staring at their actual ears. And I just
they're like Mickey ears.
Yeah, and I
like
just
actual...
felt like it just was so weird for the other person.
You're creepy.
Yeah, and I just felt like I just made it weird because I was like in my brain, I'm like, I hear ears, and I know those aren't real ears. So then I just look at their real ears, and I'm just like, oh, I made this so weird. So I was like, you know what? It's like I'm just gonna say it in my head. They got nice Mickey ears. But it just makes sense that good time. Every time you do that, it's gonna trigger me. It'll be like the Doug with Squirrel. Squirrel.
I love that song. Such a good song.
Okay, so next on the list, things at Disney World that just make sense. Going into a room with 75 other strangers and not thinking someone is going to rob you in the complete dark. This is going to be located at Haunted Mansion. I wonder if anybody's ever tried to pickpocket. Or pickpocket. I don't know why I said pickpocket.
I feel like no. I mean, I'm sure there's some crazy people that like probably have, but like I feel like no. Like you're at Disney, everyone's having fun. Like you're just in the experience of it all. But I will say, when I leave that room and I am in the queue to get on the ride, I check my pockets and my backpack like every time.
Oh, I'm always doing the whole dad move. I think that's just because both of us kind of act like dads.
But it's because we like in a giant group of people and they're always like fill all the dead space. Like you are literally like shoulder to shoulder with the person next to you. You cannot move. And like that's what you got. Like you can't.
Yeah, I was about to say that was the one thing. That's one small benefit from the whole COVID situation, right? Like COVID was not a cool thing at all. But when it came to, like filling all the dead space in the room, blah, 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 blah. Like you didn't have to do that with COVID. And I actually appreciated that because when you wanted to ride Haunted Mansion at 9 a.m., yeah, it wasn't bad. But then when you wanted to go ride Haunted Mansion again at 3 p.m., like peak heat of the day, or if you want to ride at the end of the day, nobody is smelling okay. Like, so that was kind of a bummer. So like, I guess that was kind of a plus with COVID.
I also understand the stretching room. Like it makes sense, especially in Disneyland. It's like uses an elevator, but
yeah,
it just slows down the line. Just like keep the line moving.
It really does. It does slow down the line, but Haunted Mansion's also got like almost a constant moving line, especially the closer and closer you get to the Doom.
Well,
rides.
you say that, but so does Buzz Lightyear. But Buzz Lightyear is always like a 8-hour wait time because they let a billion fast pass or Genie Plus, whatever the heck they call it now.
Yeah, I know
all
you
those
have some
people go
beef with the
first.
Buzz Lightyear counters.
Look, that's a whole different episode for a different day. What else at Disney World makes sense?
Gray's got beef.
So
Okay, so this next one is pretty simple. I don't know why you put this one on here, but it says,
we'll skip it if it's not good.
No, I'm putting you on blast. I'm reading everything. Okay, so things at Disney World that just make sense. Boat rides in the dark. I don't know if that was a good one.
What was that about? I don't even remember what that was about. Peter Pan?
I don't know.
I don't know. There's so many boat rides. There's so many boat rides. Pirates, you're like in the dark for a split second. Small World, you're not really in the dark.
Say almost every boat ride is a dark ride, but
Peter's
like
Peter Pan was like
skip that
dark.
One. Not to put you too much on blast, Gray. Let's skip that one.
That was awful.
Not your best work, sir.
Awful. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so moving on.
Hopefully the next one's good to like pick it back up.
Yeah, to redeem yourself. Let's get some redemption points for Gray. Okay, so things at Disney World that just make sense. Not asking how'd they do that to every impossible or magical thing around you.
Oh my gosh.
Which is very true. You think you'd have a lot more people doing that.
At Disney, it just makes sense for you to be like, oh, yeah, Mickey Mouse just is up there and then he's down there in a different outfit. And you're
in like, Fantasmic.
Oh. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that video where like this is totally Mickey in Fantasmic? And it's that one guy that runs as fast as he can and slides on his butt on the railing like 3 flights and then just keeps running. And then
if he changes clothes in the middle of it, then that's probably
and then even somebody like stitched them together and it was like him up top and then all of a sudden it was like shoot and then it was him at the bottom and I was like this is perfect, like this is Disney comedy.
But I mean it just makes sense. Like I mean I'm sure there are some people that are like how did they do that, but like it just don't, it's just magic. It's just
just don't question it. It just makes sense not to question it sometimes.
Just makes sense.
Absolutely. All right. So moving on to the next one.
Moving on. Finding young professionals to work for no money and live in cramped conditions because it will look good on your resume. Shout out the Disney College program. No, that's, I mean, come on. You are finding people that have like just graduated college, like they have all this experience. They can go out and find a job that pays like $50,000-$60,000 a year. Like they could be out there killing it. What are they doing? Getting paid $10 an hour, living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 5 other people, and be like, yeah, this is good. It is going to look really good on my resume and get me a job in the future. Which, fun fact, my current job that I have right now, one of the reasons they hired me was because they were like, oh, wow, he worked at Disney. He must have really good customer service skills.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, a lot of people are just like, does it truly help you with your resume that much? Like, and I'm just like, yeah, it really does. Like, Disney has it's got a lot of respect behind it. So
it definitely does. But I mean, just think about that. Like, how many people have already graduated that are doing the Disney College program and they're living in the worst conditions, getting paid nothing? They deserve way better than what they're getting. But just because you're like, oh, you're getting great resume experience, or, oh, I love Mickey Mouse, it's like a great thing. Like, it's just...
Which, I mean, I enjoyed it. I didn't have a problem with it at all. I mean, there were days where I was like, oh man, this is not worth the $11, $12, $13 an hour.
I definitely enjoyed my time. Like, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying at Disney World, it makes sense to pay people way less than what they deserve.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because, of course, all our parents want us to, graduate college and then put that tie on or put that business dress or suit on or whatever the situation is. Go make that corporate money.
Yeah. I currently wear
what are we doing?
Work every day.
Come on, everybody, put your ears.
Get your ears on. Get a good time.
At 9 a.m. in the morning instead of clocking in. We had fun, but we were broke. It just made sense, Mom.
This makes sense, Mom. Come on.
Add that to the bottom of the list. Okay, so the next one on the list. Things at Disney World that just make sense. Knowing where everyone is originally from because it's on their name tag. That's like, cast member one, yeah.
It makes sense
But
at Disney World. If you work anywhere else, that no one has their like where they're actually from on their name tag.
Yeah,
like,
because I mean they're living locally. But
that one's kind of meh.
Yeah, but that's a good one though, because it does make sense. Would you imagine if the name tags didn't have that information? It'd be a lot less blah, right?
Well, you would just think,
Or a lot
I mean, it
more
would just
blah.
like have your name. There'd be nothing under it. It would just have your name. And you like wouldn't have conversations about that. You wouldn't be like, oh, I'm from there too. Wow. Or oh, you went there, that college. That's so cool. Like you wouldn't have those conversations about it because like anywhere else that you go, you just have a normal name tag. It just like has
Very
says
true.
Jeff.
See, and like I feel, like us Americans, us North Americans, United States citizens, not really anybody's gonna ask unless we have like a crazy accent,
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't think we would really have a problem with it. But if somebody was from Brazil or Italy or France or somebody with like a thick accent and they didn't have that information on their name tag, because after a while, I think guests do kind of pick up on it and they maybe get tired of asking and they'll just look at the name tag and they'll be like, oh, that's cool. Paris, France.
I love looking at people's name tags and being like, oh, where are you from? But then there are also people that I feel like they are from Florida and they're like, oh, I'm from New Jersey. Just to, like put something fun on your name tag.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple times that I lost my name tag and I know the name was Ryan. I wore one name tag that was named Winsel. I really wanted to take that one home with me, but everybody loved that one.
I'm gonna be honest. After working at Disney, I don't trust anyone's name tags anymore.
Oh no, absolutely not. I mean, there would be times where I was just like, man, I was like, I really don't feel like I should be wearing my actual name tag. I feel like something's gonna happen to me today, and I'll go put on the Ryan name tag.
There's this one lady that I worked with. Her name was Josette. She literally always had a name tag that said Pat. Like she never had her actual name tag.
Pat was from Orlando, Florida.
She was the queen, but yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty funny. I was gonna say, I just remember like the Ryan one, and then everybody tried to snag the Winsel one when they forgot their name tag. They'd be like, "Give me the Winsel one."
We definitely switched name tags at work a couple times. Like, I want to be Kelsey today.
I mean, you have to be. Yeah, I was gonna say you have to have some fun like that too, because I mean, at the end of the day, switching name tags does that? Yeah. I mean, what does that do?
But then
the guest's really gonna be like, "That's not your name."
It's really bad when you're like wearing a name tag and a guest is like, hey, Johnny. And you're like you're not paying attention because your name's not Johnny. And then you like realize that that's what your name tag says. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. This is not my name.
True. That actually, I never really thought about that. I don't think I've ever had somebody go, hey, Winsel or hey, Ryan. Because I don't know.
Probably did a couple times.
That or either maybe I was just like so self-aware that I was just like, I'm Ryan today. I'm Ryan today.
Today like, I'm not Jeff. I'm Ryan.
If I'm Ryan, I'm lying. And that just makes sense. Okay. Makes sense. So the next one in the list. Okay, so where did it go? I accidentally scrolled one of my favorite ones.
I'm like thinking of. I feel like it's there. I need you to say it. Keep going.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so the next one is going upside down on the road on your way to a concert. Twice.
I mean, really 3 times because I think there's 2 loop-de-loops and a corkscrew.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm trying to think of the track layout right now.
Also, I saw
it's at least TikTok, 4 or 5 times.
I saw the thing on TikTok that there's a roller coaster in New Zealand, I think, that's literally the same roller coaster as Rock and Roll.
Like themed Aerosmith and everything?
Like the same track.
Oh,
like they did like a side-by-side video, the exact same track.
Yeah, but that makes sense though, because I mean they just sell the blueprints for millions of dollars. It just makes sense. That's one thing that makes sense outside of Disney.
Outside Disney just makes sense.
Sense.
But yeah, I look, I've rolled a car a couple times, been upside down. I wasn't on my way to a concert.
I forget about that.
I wasn't on my way to a concert, but I wasn't able to keep driving after I did that. But somehow at Disney World just makes sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how many times. I'm pretty sure it's 4. I want to say 4. Correct me if I'm wrong.
There's definitely 2 loops at the beginning and then a corkscrew at the end. So it's at least 3. But in the corkscrew, you might go upside down multiple times.
Okay. I was about to say, because like when I was a lot younger on that ride too, I always thought that ride was super fast. And then now that I'm older, I'm like, it's kind of slow.
It was like 60
on the takeoff, but throughout the ride, it drops down like 45.
Yeah, still faster than Space Mountain.
Yeah.
But Space Mountain just seems like it goes fast because the fans. So.
That, and then also you have the and it cracks me up too because it goes the opposite direction. I'm like, this does not make sense.
Look, that's my favorite part of the ride, so don't ruin my life, Jeff, okay?
Oh, and it's my favorite part too, because
part.
I'll be sitting there in the dark, like I'm all like people watching this on YouTube, like I'm all wide-eyed like this, and I'm just like, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? All right, we're here.
I literally get to that part and I'm like, like on the ride. People behind me are probably like, what the heck is wrong with this guy?
What's going on?
That
in
is
that
my
rocket.
favorite part of that ride.
We're the woo 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 rocket.
We're the woo woo woos.
Okay, so the next thing on the list, as I say, we still have a little. We don't have much to go. I thought we had another page, believe it or not, but we don't. So we either just
that means my favorite one has to be
or a lot of
up.
people happy. Okay, so the next one on the list is taking pictures in front of a wall because it's purple.
Just because it's purple, guys. Like, hey, I'm gonna take a picture in front of this black wall right here. Everyone, cheese.
Who started that? Who's like, did Disney just be like, let's make a photo op right here?
I just think it's so funny because like there's multiple walls like that around Disney. Like, oh, this wall's purple. Let's take a picture in front of it. Yeah. This wall looks like a third grader made it out of popsicle sticks. Let's take a picture in front of it.
And then the crazy thing is though, okay, so let me ask you this real quick because we're about to just be hypocrites. Have you taken a picture of the purple wall?
Oh, so many times.
Exactly. So have I. So shame on
the
us.
whole point of this at Disney, it makes sense. But
True.
Literally if you were at the mall and there was a purple wall, even if it had the fun designs on it that the purple wall at Disney does, would you walk past and be like, I gotta get a picture with that?
Okay. So yeah, that's why Disney, it just makes sense at Disney.
You wouldn't do that.
And then now they even have like women's and girls like yoga pants with the purple wall design on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've seen people,
that's kind of cool.
Like paint their walls at home to like the purple wall thing. I've seen like I get it. It's a Disney thing, but also like why? Like it's just some colors on a wall.
Oh yeah,
but at Disney World, just makes sense.
It just makes sense. All right, so next on the list, I'll scroll down just a little bit because we have like 25 left. And I feel like that's.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Speed wrap. Let's go.
I was going to say, I'm scrolling down just a little bit. Okay. So next on the list, things at Disney World that just make sense. Being shrunk down to the size of a rat and riding on the back of one through the kitchen for food, which I haven't rode that ride yet. Have you? Did you get to ride it on your last visit?
It's a good ride. Yeah. It was really fun. It's a good ride riding through the kitchen. There's a lot of screens, but it's a good ride.
I was about to say, I feel like it's on the GPS track. It's railless or trackless, I guess, is what they officially call it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there are a lot of screens on that, which I don't know how I feel. I'll have to ride it first. I'll let you guys know once I do. But
I like making Minnie's Runaway Railway better, but similar ride system.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next on the list. Walking 15 miles a day. But to a lot of people, I feel like that makes sense outside of Disney World, though.
Okay, to some people.
It's the marathon runners on Thanksgiving.
My family came to visit when we were working there for Christmas. My family came down. My grandmother was there. My aunt was there. Both my parents were there. Honestly, my brother and sister were there. You think they walk 15 miles a day? Absolutely not.
Oh, no.
Like my 80-year-old grandmother was like, yeah, let's go to Disney. She didn't sound like that. We're going to walk all day long. What old person does that? No one.
Yeah, no, but it just makes sense at Disney because there's so much walking though. Like, I don't think every time I tell one of my friends or somebody that I know here in town or just somebody that I associate myself with, when they're like, man, you really love Disney. You know so many facts about Disney, blah, 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 blah. Even though you know way more facts than I do. But like, I'll be like, yeah, like Disney World, it's around the same size as San Fran. And they're like, what? No way. That's how you walk 15 miles. I'm like, yeah, that is how you walk 15 miles a day.
That's just how you do it.
This is how we do it.
All right, Jeff, we have time for 2 more. Pick your favorites.
2 more. Okay. Well, Gray, talk about something then, because I have to pick from like 8 or 9.
Well, just find. You have to find the best one. Honestly,
Okay.
you're the one on the time crunch, not me. So
Am
look,
I?
there's just so many things that make sense. So at Disney World, and these are it.
Okay.
Hey,
Let's see.
maybe we'll post some other ones that we don't talk about today on our Instagram page. You can follow us at the Goofy Scoop. I'm just giving Jeff some time to figure out another one to talk about.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're doing good. You're doing great, kid. Okay. Okay. This one's pretty solid, and it's about our favorite ride, Gray.
Here we go.
Okay. So things at Disney World that just make sense. Getting on something called the People Mover that brings you back to the exact same place. You don't move anywhere.
You don't. I mean, you do move, but like you just come back. It doesn't move you to somewhere else.
It's okay. Do you know why it's called the People Mover? Because I truly don't. Is it they were just like, what's a cool
name? I assume that like it's Tomorrowland, and like in tomorrow times we're just gonna have some tracks that go around to take you to different places. So like theoretically, you get on the People Mover. If it's not like a ride at Disney World, you get on the People Mover and you like go through, and it'll stop you at the hair salon. Whoever needs to go to the hair salon, like it's up. It's kind of like a monorail track system ish, but it's like in town. Like you don't walk anywhere. You just get on.
It's just in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Like the closest you get outside of Tomorrowland is like the entrance, like right by the bridge where you're about to walk in front of the castle. You know.
Yeah.
But like, why would they not name it like Tomorrowland Tours? Like, why did they name it the People Mover?
Because it's the People Mover, the best ride for people watching.
Welcome to your Transit Authority People Mover. That guy's got a good voice for it though. Like it's not like it's not like too deep and masculine. Like it's just like a good voice.
It's fine. I could do it. Disney, let's redo it. Welcome to the Transit Authority People Mover. See, I got
I don't know. Like
keep your eyes peeled. You never know what you might.
You just got a solid voice for it. Okay, so let me find one more to call it.
One more to read for
okay,
the
this is actually a pretty solid one. I'll scroll up just a little bit. Just
last one. Here we go. Here we go. Make it a good one.
Okay, so things at Disney World that just make sense. Visiting 11 plus countries in one day.
Boom.
That's a pretty solid one.
Not around the world in 80 days, more like around the world in an hour.
80 minutes. But yeah, that's a pretty good one. And I actually love the World Showcase. I mean, it's like a professionally done World's Fair is what some people call it. But
yeah,
World Showcase is great. I think that's the best park to go to when you have a group of friends. There's not really a whole lot to ride. And you just get to walk around and hang out and have good conversation. Well, you went all the time. That's why you're having.
I get so tired of Epcot. But
where would you? So would you rather go to Animal Kingdom?
Heck yeah!
Oh God!
You can walk around and see all the animals. You can fly. Oh! I got another one.
Dude, I got another one. Like Timon when you said that.
Things.
The animals.
Do the hula. Things at Disney World that just make sense. Riding on the back of basically a dragon that will definitely eat you.
Oh, a banshee?
Yeah.
Or an Ikron? Peacock? Or
yeah,
there you go. I almost said it backwards. I almost said Sea Cabo, but I was like, no, that's not it. But yeah.
There's so many things at Disney World that just make sense. Anyway,
I was about to say, guys, we skipped. Great. I'm gonna say we probably skipped almost 20. Because
fine, we'll do another episode about it. Fine.
Yeah, we'd have to. Well, I don't know, because I'd have to go back and gray all these out. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Anyway, my friends, if you have things at Disney World that just make sense, that only make sense at Disney World, let us know your favorite things that just make sense by going over to our Instagram page at The Goofy Scoop.
That right there, if you're watching on YouTube, without the podcast part. So I actually did that pretty clean, didn't I?
That was pretty good, yeah.
So, but yeah, just like Ray was saying, if you're not following us already on Instagram, please follow us on the Goofy Scoop podcast and then leave a comment as well with the post that comes out with this podcast episode and let us know what just makes sense, at least for you at Disney World, or something that you maybe have noticed as well.
Honestly, following us on Instagram, it just makes sense.
That's a solid one. That does make sense. It's Disney.
You're welcome.
It does make sense.
Have a great night, everyone.
Yeah, that. I'm gonna have to close on that. All right. Thank you guys for listening. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you on the next episode. All right. See you guys.